Hi, welcome back. I'm Wolfe. You can call me Y. I have recently made a few videos about my hobbies, about knitting and sewing and just clothing in general. And it has brought up so many realizations for me that it kind of staggers me. I'm also working on reacquainting myself with the writer that I used to be. I feel like I've gotten into such a rut as a writer, and I don't know how to access the way that I used to be able to engage in creative writing in ways that just don't feel accessible to me right now. And I realized that creativity is not a gift. It's not, people always talk about it like, oh, you're so lucky to be such a creative person. When I look back on my life, though, I don't feel like I was just born creative. I think we're all born creative. Maybe the difference is that I regularly engage with my creativity. I have discipline around my creativity. I have a relationship with my creativity, or at least I used to. And I'm realizing now that for a number of reasons that I won't get into here, I've really lost touch with that. I've lost my connection to my creativity in many ways, and I want to get it back. So I have come up with 6 intentions that I want to set for myself going forward that I'm hoping will help me re-engage with my creativity. I really want to find my ability to tap into that energy again. Number 1, create beauty with unexpected details. Now, this one is very interesting because it all came to me with a green door. In November, in order to deal with my post-election anxiety, I decided to paint the raw drywall in my garage. Why? I don't know. It just felt like something I could control and something that would make me feel a little more settled in my house at a time when I felt really unsettled, and I still do, frankly. So throughout that process, as I was out there doing that, I found all of this old paint that I have collected over the years for little projects that I've done here and there. And one of them was this spectacular, brilliant, bright hobbit green. And I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, wouldn't this be amazing on the door that leads into my house, like the back door that goes into the garage? And on a whim, on a complete whim, I went for it, painted the door, and it really wasn't something that was within the scope of the project of painting the garage itself. The project was to get the walls painted and get the garage organized. And so taking this massive detour, because it took a long time to paint that door. It took 3 coats, and it takes a long time to paint all the crevices in a door, as you know. So it was a massive diversion from the project at hand. And during that process, I was a little bit confused about why I had chosen to do it, thinking this was stupid, illogical. Then I got to the end of the project and I could not stop smiling. I love that door so much. It's been 2 months now, and every time I see it multiple times per day, it makes me smile. It makes me feel magical, like I live in the Shire and I'm walking into my hobbit hole. Like, I freaking love it. And it's just a tiny detail in a huge project. And yet that one tiny detail, that one unexpected little spot of beauty has made a huge difference in my house and in my mental health. And I realized that this is where I frequently find joy and beauty, in these little unexpected places of beauty. And it makes me think of like when there's a tiny little embroidered detail on a sweater, or like elbow patches on a sweater. Someone's wearing an ordinary outfit and then they have red shoes on. Look at the star garland behind me. This is something that I added. They cost $7 on Amazon, and they're just foil cut out stars on a string. And I put them all over the house. And it is in a way a very tiny thing. They're just paper garlands, and yet It made such a big difference in my house, in the way that it looks. It made such a huge difference in the decor for the holidays, and it just made me so happy. And I realized I need to seek out every opportunity to find these little spaces, these little overlooked details, and find ways to embellish them, find unexpected ways to embellish them. Number 2, stretch your skills. This one is a little bit hard for me because I tend to be a creature of habit. Again, let's go back to the Hobbit thing. Like, yeah, I'll just do the same thing over and over again and be happy as a lark. But overall, I'm realizing that that is a huge problem for me when it comes to creativity. Like, my creativity is not thriving unless I'm really pushing myself, at least from time to time. Right now, this practice looks like going back to my roots again and practicing the kind of creative writing that I used to do regularly. It means trying new things with my knitting, like color work. I've never done color work before, and all of a sudden, that's all I want to do. I want to try it. I want to see if I can figure it out. I want to enjoy making garments that look that beautiful. I want to enjoy the end result. It means finally sewing my first pair of pants. I have a pair that is cut out. The pattern is cut out now, and it's been a month and I still haven't done it because I'm so intimidated and so scared that I'm not going to be able to do it. How am I ever going to grow my skills as a sewist if I don't do that? So we have to be brave enough to make the mistakes, brave enough to step out of our comfort zone, brave enough to do something that takes more thought than just habit, the muscle memory of habit. Number 3, do it just for the beauty. I say that this one again comes to me from the green door. This is a lesson of the green door. There is no purpose in painting that door green. Absolutely zero. Nobody else sees that door. I am the only person who goes in and out of it. It's inside my garage. There's no reason. Like, why spend the money, use the resources, waste the time to do that? Except for one thing, that it's beautiful and I love it and it makes me happy. And I notice about myself that I often get stuck in spaces where I feel like I need to do the things that make financial sense, things that are logical, things that are efficient. And sometimes that's true. But also, I think it's so important that we spend an equal amount of time, money, resources on the useless things, on the seemingly useless things, on the things that don't make sense to embellish or make beautiful. Those are the things that really make a difference. Don't do it for logic. Don't do it because it's efficient. Do it for the beauty. Do it for the fun. Number 4, defy cultural expectations. This one is also a little bit challenging for me because we are so used to living in a culture that tries to define beauty for us. It's constantly telling us what it thinks we should think is beautiful or interesting or worthy of our attention. It even constantly tries to teach us how we should engage with the process of creating beauty. But thankfully, there have been so many artists who have come before us who have defied that and who have showed us what it looks like to defy that. Those artists are great inspirations to help us break out of our own tunnel vision around cultural expectations of beauty and creativity. And it makes me think of doing what works for you, doing what you see as beautiful, interesting, creative. Like, I want to dress like a hobbit. That's my ultimate dream. I'm almost 50 years old. Why would a almost 50-year-old want to dress like a hobbit? But I do. And I must defy the cultural expectations that I should dress in a different way that is pleasing to our culture, to the male gaze, etc. No, I just want to be a hobbit. I just want to look like Bilbo Baggins. That would make me very happy. Number 5, hoard ideas. Every creative person I know, myself included, has a million ideas tucked away in their head. all these novels that we want to write, all of these sweaters we want to knit, and all of the clothing we want to sew, all of the music we want to compose, all of the art we want to paint. And we are so lucky to have those ideas. Every single idea is simply art waiting to be born. It's just in the queue, gestating. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should pursue every one of those ideas or hold on to them greedily. All I am saying is when they come to you, grab them, welcome them, communicate with them, get to know them. If they're not ready, if you're not ready, make sure that they know you'll revisit them and then put them aside and bring in the next one and keep going, keep collecting. Our ideas are everything. We live in a world right now where hoarding resources is becoming more and more extreme. And I believe that one of the best ways we can combat that is to hoard ideas instead. Number 6, be generous. Creativity is infinite energy. Yes, it will ebb and flow over time, but it is always there and it will always, always come back to us. And I believe we need to meet that energy and not just meet it, but honor it by sharing it. And again, it is very important to be discerning about this because I'm not talking about create, and then share. And I'm definitely not talking about create, and share for free. Those are all aspects of grind culture, hustle culture, capitalism, and a society that does not value art and the creative process and the people who do the creating. Know that part of the creative process, part of the loop that needs to be closed, is the receiving of the creativity. The way that the loop needs to be closed is that our creations need to be observed, need to be digested. A writer's words need to be read. A filmmaker's work needs to be seen. A poet's work needs to be heard. An artist's work needs to be seen. So what I mean to say is to trust in that process by putting your work out into the world. Be generous with it. And that doesn't necessarily mean put it out there for free, but put it out there. Make sure that it has the opportunity to be shared. And also be generous with what you know and what you have learned. And again, I'm not saying become a creative coach for free. I'm not saying take people under your wing for free. But when there's an opportunity to pass down your knowledge and what you know about creativity or what you know about your craft, give it as freely as you can. Share it as freely as you can. In light of everything that's coming, as I'm recording this, it's about a week until we make a major transition in America, and it's very scary for many of us. And I have a lot of fears about the future, and I'm talking the immediate future. I'm talking a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. There's a lot of anxiety for many of us. And I think that one of the ways that we can combat that, one of the ways that we can hold ourselves and one another up is through creativity, through the practice of creativity and through the sharing of creativity. So as soon as you are finished watching this, go create something. Go look for an idea to hoard. Go stretch your skills. We've got a lot we can do with creativity. Creativity is a wonderful, generous, kind friend. And I think we can rely on her to get us through whatever's coming. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. See you next time.